So just to kind of quickly zoom through and talk about the transformation, let's just start to look at this in section, and you'll see I have my clipping plane over here. I've made it narrow, but it's still going to clip everything to the right and the left as I move it through. Just wanted it out of the way so you could begin to see what we're starting to cut through. So I'm cutting through that little baby bar, but I wanted to show you here. So I've constructed this glass wall. Right, actually this was not a sort of great example because I only have the mullion on one side, but I have, you can see now the difference between the wall above, the solid wall, and the glass wall. Okay, we're moving through, we've got that sort of really tall space. Looks like I might have lost a floor. We've definitely lost a floor. So I'm seeing my floor is missing here. I'm going to go ahead and put a copy of that back in, but I have lowered the bottom level so that I could have a higher floor to floor at the base. That's pretty consistent for buildings. You usually won't have exactly even spacing on the floors at the bottom floor itself. So you can see my stair is not quite meeting the floor, so I'm going to need to extend that. Always good to sort of march through the section and find those moments. So we're coming along here. Mostly I wanted you to kind of see in here. So now when we're looking at the section, thinking about those Lewis types, we're starting to get a hole, right? And you could even call this a kind of embedded figure or a nest. This is where that plane of glass is going to be, and it looks pretty solid right now, but I'm going to actually turn this into, it looks like if I bullion this together, that could be really nice. I could turn the whole thing into a frame and just put a plane of glass between all of it. Okay, we're seeing that piece. Don't have my hole yet for my other nest. I've got my other nested object here, but it's hiding. But you can start to see where we're getting a kind of interesting structural shape, right? We've got the shaping with the roof. We've got the shaping with this tall open volume. I'm going to make my envelope there. And we've not got a bad little sort of entry area, right? I actually have a little threshold here before we get to the glass wall, which does not yet exist. So I'm going to do a couple more things just to show you how I might march through them. One of them is to create that cantilevering beam with this element and a beam here as a mullion. And we'll also do one more demo. I've got a little area where I've showed you how to make a glass wall. Just a suggestion, as with other things, you can make it in a lot of different ways. But let's just do those last things before you sort of take off and start finishing up these models.